Welcome back. Well, today we're going to talk about rods. Things I've learned this last couple of years in rods. Now, you guys remember last year, I flipped my kayak, lost all my rods. I want to thank everybody who helped me out and to help start replenishing. But, the good thing is, I got to buy new rods. That's a good thing. And I learned so much from the first time around. So we're going to talk about my lessons learned when it comes to rods. Now, let me see if I can get this picture up. Action. I forgot to load this up. But one thing I learned a lot about rods is action and power. And these two things mean a lot when you're where is it? I know it's here because I just put it in my book. And by the way, a link to my book is just down below. A lot of good stuff in it. Okay, there's a lot of ice fishing. Boom, boom, boom. It's got to be coming up. It's coming up. There it is. Right there. Bam. All right. Let's put that behind me and not in front of my face. All right. So, what I did. Oh, well. What in the world was that? I have no idea what that was. I might edit it out. I might just leave it in. So, this right here helps you to understand rods, both power and action. Now, what you're seeing up there is action. And this is one of the graphics in my book. And action is how fast that rod tip is and how much of the rod bends. So this particular one should be extra fast or fast. Now this one is, it doesn't say, does it? Oh, fast. It's fast. Fast is my favorite. So basically, it's what I use most of the time. So you can bend the rod, but this one right here, actually, I broke the tip off, so it should be bending a lot, more. This one's more of a moderate, and that is something that when you go rod shopping, this is a really good thing to go at, because there's no industry standard to understanding this thing. So they can say anything they want. So let's look at my most expensive rod, which is Edge. Again, everybody's going to be a little bit different when it comes to action. And this is a fast action. So it should bend the same as that, but it won't. So we're going to bend this down. And this is a proper fast. So top 25%, bam. And this is a proper fast rod. So you can see the slow. I don't think you'll ever see a slow on the market, because that's like flipping a wet noodle out there. You can find those. I find them in spinning ultralight stuff. They're just big wet noodles, but they don't say slow because they're not going to, because nobody wants a slow rod. Just the word slow just says bad things. Moderate, fast is fine, but you don't want something that says slow. But they're going to be slow. You don't bend that thing, there'd be no backbone. Now, one thing about where the bend stops and the rest of the rod stays stiff, this is the backbone. This is your power. All right. So this is your action, your bend, and then this is, don't mess my rod up, not this one. And so that's that. I mean, if you have a good backbone, that'll keep the hook in the fish for you. This will get the bait out with accuracy to the spot that you need it. So this, the fish is going to hit that, boom. The backbone or the power is going to keep that fish hooked up. And of course your skill level. But if you had a wet noodle, a slow rod, boy, it probably would be a lot of fun to have a slow rod. Just because the challenge of trying to keep that hook in the mouth of something would be really, really hard. You know, but kind of fun. You lose a lot of fish though. Now, something else I cover in my book is spine. So I have 3 rods here. I have an American made, The Edge by Gary Loomis. Really is one of the finer rods on the market. Rolled carbon fiber handle. Everything about this rod is awesome. Thinking about getting another. I know I wasn't crazy about the customer service, but I really like the rod. So, they do have an ultralight. If I could get it for the same price I bought this, I'm in. So, but a spine on a rod is where the rod naturally wants to bend. Okay? So, on a bait caster, see that trigger right here? This should line up with the spine on a bait caster right here. This should line up with the spine. So as we hold it, the rod naturally wants to bend more this way. If this was a spinning rod, the guides would be on the spine side. So it's the opposite. So trigger, spine. Guides, spine on a spinning rod. This is going to give you accuracy and longer casts. If you do not have a properly built rod, you will not. I mean, you might frustrate you. You're wondering, what's going on? I'm not hitting my spot. Well, it's because the rod's not lined up. And there's no fixing it, to be honest, without removing everything off of it and reapplying everything. Now, I do have, this one's got a bad guide I have to fix. But this is a Shimano SLX rod. Now, it's all dusty because I haven't, it's been on my shelf for a while. And this is a Chinese rod, I think. But I think it is because it's only $100. So, my guess, Chinese rod. So, the Shimano, though, I don't know if it's an accident that this one lines up or not. But in this one's case, this Shimano SLX rod, the trigger is on the spine side. And you can do that by holding it down onto the floor, bending it, getting that bend that you see behind me, and rolling it. And when you roll it, it should just snap into spot, a natural snap. That's the spine. And this one just happens to line up. And I don't know if that's on purpose by them or it's just an accident. You will find happy accidents in the store within the same line. Chinese rods are mass manufactured, and when you look at their manufacturing, nobody's rolling the blank. This is the blank right here. Nobody's rolling it and trying to figure out where the spine is so they can line up everything. So, that Shimano SLX $100 rod, very nice. That's why I'm going to replace the guide on it. If it wasn't lined up, I probably wouldn't bother. Because it's a lot of work to replace a guide. So here's a Chinese Pissy Fun. I love this rod, by the way. I really do. Ultralight rod. Broke the tip. Now it's a medium light. but super lightweight. I love this. But when I turn it, it doesn't snap to where this trigger, or the trigger, is facing up. It snaps right there. That's where it snaps. So the trigger's off 45 degrees. So what ends up happening with this one is that the accuracy of catch isn't going to be as good. I love the reel seat. These guys have probably the best reel seat I've ever felt in fishing. So I really do like this rod. And what I did is I made it shorter. It's 6'6" now, not 7 foot. Because just. But I really enjoy fishing with this rod. But when it comes to accuracy, I've learned to adjust with this. This is not the most accurate rod because of the spine not being lined up with the guides and the trigger. It's off. And when you're throwing really, really, really light baits, that exponentially is exaggerated. And so you really want, maybe with really heavy baits, it won't be so obvious because you get so much momentum on the weight. But the lighter the weight, the more important the fine tuning of your equipment becomes. And I would definitely keep an eye on that when you go rod shopping. Put it on the floor, roll it around, see where it snaps into place, and see if where everything lines up. And you might, I'm sure that there are happy accidents in Chinese inexpensive rods. Get a $50, $60 rod, and you can get a happy accident, and that's a happy accident. You're happy. But when it comes to rod manufacturing, I really do nowadays. I trust only American-made rods. Now, Cajun rods, which is a handmade rod, they do very well at lining up spines, and they have a great special going on, 20% off. Nice shirt. I love my shirt, my Cajun shirt, and free shipping. So if you want a nice light rod, $120, buy a nice rod delivered to your door by an American-made company. So, but I want an ultralight rod. If Cajun had an ultralight, they would have my business on that one. They really would. I mean, they are the best company to back up their products. The rest of these companies, Shimano, Pissy Fun does back up their. In fact, they replaced this rod free of charge, but not with this rod because they don't make it anymore. So I had to get something else, which was half the price and a big difference. No fault of their own. They just don't have. They didn't have any of these. But I would have loved to have got another one of these carbon rods, but they didn't have them, and they don't make them, and that's that. In fact, when it comes to rods, they really are quite deficient in rod selection right now. But the Gary Loomis Edge rod is probably my favorite rod, and they just started. They just put an ultralight in their category. And it ticks all the boxes but one for me. So we'll see. We'll see about that. Whether I make one or not. I think I'll definitely get the gear and I'll start repairing rods. Because here's this really nice Shimano SLX rod. It's light. It feels good. It's got a good grip. It's got a good reel seat. Everything except I have this guide, boom, that lost its insert. So this has to be removed, and I got to put a new guide on it. So, and it's a little warped. I don't think I could just pop in a new insert there. So, it's a double foot too. So it's twice the work, a double-footed guide. Single-footed guides are not so much work. It's half the work. But hopefully this helps you out a little bit. Definitely check out my book on Amazon. It's a great gift to give somebody. All these things that I'm going over are in my book, including a lot of graphs, a lot of illustrations that I made, and hopefully you'll learn something in the book. It's called Terrible at Fishing Instruction Manual for Freshwater Fishing and for freshwater. And anyway, check out the link below, and I will see you guys on a maintenance video. That'll be interesting. You'll learn something. We'll do 2 different maintenance videos, one just for spinning reels and one just for bait casters. They won't be real long videos, so we'll see you guys soon.